Warm welcome to the news on NTA International. My name is Musbadan Wahab. Welcome. Let's see the headlines. Federal government rolls out intervention program towards boosting food production during dry season. Chief of Defense Staff General Abayomi Olonishakin lauds efforts of Nigeria Armed Forces towards improving national security. Australia's COVID-19 epicenter goes 29 days without new infections as capital of Ethiopia's northern Tigray region comes under heavy shelling from government forces. Thanks a lot for staying tuned in on food security. The federal government has rolled out an intervention program towards boosting food production during dry season farming. This initiative is also to cushion the effect of losses recorded as a result of flood during the year. Musa Babali has that report for us.
The 2020 rainy season as a promising one, as the rains came early, as predicted by the Nigeria Meteorological Agency. Farmers took advantage of it and planted crops in good time. The cropping season was, however, disrupted by flood that submerged and washed away farms and produce that were ready for harvest.
What Kebbi State has lost in terms of crops could run into billions of naira. Federal government should not be left alone to provide agri-inputs to the farmers. It is the sole responsibility of the state government. After all, agriculture is on the concurrent legislative list.
The federal government is therefore supporting farmers with input seeds of rice, wheat, groundnut, cowpea and soybeans for the dry season farming. Equipment for irrigation and chemicals were also provided to farmers in Kebbi and Jigawa states.
The issue of food security is fundamental to this administration, and we'll do all what we can do to ensure the food security.
This group of women, including Zulaihatu, who is 7 months pregnant, are among the beneficiaries of the federal government's gesture, having lost between 2 to 5 hectares of rice to flooding in Jigawa state. I'm not discouraged, even when the flood destroyed my farm, and this support will make me produce more during the dry season, she says. All the seeds given to them are expected to mature between 90 to 100 days after planting. From Awuyo, Jigawa State, Musa Baba Ali, NTA News.
Right, we apologize for the loss of sound in part of that report. Now, no fewer than 200 rural women in Ondo State have received a one-off special grant of 20,000 naira each initiated by the federal government to assist the poor and the vulnerable in their country. Olubukola Haduo reports.
Flagging off the program in Ondo State, the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Sadiya Umar Farouk, said the grant was introduced to lift 100 million Nigerians out of poverty by 2030. She explained that the package is expected to support the financial needs of the beneficiaries in order to increase their income and subsequently strengthen economic activities across the country.
Our message to the women is to utilize this money efficiently and effectively by way of investing it into small businesses so that they can have good returns and they'll be able to fend for themselves and members of their families.
Ondo State Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu, while expressing gratitude to the federal government for the relief package, said the grant would contribute largely to poverty alleviation.
The state cannot thank you enough for your sustained interest of our women, in the welfare of our children, in the welfare of other vulnerable members of society. You are doing well.
The grant, according to the minister, will go around the 777 local government councils in Nigeria. In Akure, Olubukola Aduwo, NTA News.
Now, experts say for the country to have people of integrity in leadership, there must be change from the formative stage and build moral values in the young people from home. Integrity as one of, and most important for a leader, was the climax of the first phase of the Nigerian Prize for Leadership Dialogue series that has 60 youth participating of the Ambassadors Leadership Program as participants. Haman Jabani reports.
Youth can leverage on various opportunities and platforms to rebuild leadership in Nigeria and take deliberate steps of integrity that will transform the nation. The present generation must also articulate and deliberately plan how to impact next generation with value of integrity. These are important for the Nigerian Prize for Leadership as it poised to remodel today's youth on the way forward.
The concept of integrity begin to go into the consciousness of our young people so that when they become leaders, when I mean leaders now, when they begin to occupy bigger leadership positions across board, whether in the corporate world or in the public world, as the case may be, they will learn to do things differently.
For the ambassadors, MPL is equipping them for now, and Nigeria will be great again.
With consistency, we'll develop the kind of mindset that will take our country to where we all wish and pray it gets to.
There is so much that the Nigerian people have to offer, especially youth. All we are asking for is the opportunity to do so.
We can see you, and we hope that you can see us, so we can communicate and work together to get the generation and the nation we deserve.
Because they understood that the development of this country is far more important than any other sentiment.
The first phase of the Nigerian Prize for Leadership, which started in May 2020, centered on what it takes to be a good leader. The second phase is believed to examine other issues that will make Nigeria a leading example in the Committee of Nations. Hamman Jabani, NTA News.
The National Commission for Museums and Monuments has taken custodian of a priceless repatriated Ife terracotta head returned by the government of Netherlands. At a public presentation of the artifact in Abuja, the Director General of the Commission, Professor Abbas Issa Tijani, said plans are on to return more stolen cultural arts. Oyina Yakanwoka reports.
And red terracotta head, said to be from Ile-Ife, Osun State, is dated back to more than 600 years. The approximately 16 centimeters tall head depicts a girl or young woman with her hair tightly braided in several buns.
Ife is famous for this terracotta and bronze artifacts, and this is one of such, Ife heads.
With pattern on her face, a bomb on the top left side of her head, possibly representing an amulet braided into her hair. The Ife terracotta head, now with the National Commission for Museums and Monuments, is said to be exceedingly rare.
This is priceless. You can't put a price on this.
The terracotta head was returned by the government of Netherlands after it was stolen out of the country.
We have strengthened our ways of keeping our objects safe in our storage and in our exhibition areas, but also our customs here in Nigeria are fully informed that any artifact, whether it's contemporary or antiquity, cannot be taken out of Nigeria without our permit.
Oyina Kaloka, NTA News.
Can we say welcome back to that terracotta head? Now, information managers have been urged to consider the new paradigm shifts of people-oriented reportage for effective image making and good governance. The Akwa Ibom State's Deputy Governor, Moses Ekpo, gave a charge during the 2020 Directors and Heads of Establishment Conference of the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations held in Uyo. Charity James has the report.
Country's governance therefore becomes imperative. This informed the focus of the 2020 Directors and Heads of Establishment Conference of the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, NIPR. The State Deputy Governor, Moses Ekpo, who emphasized the importance of strategic communication, says all hands must be on deck to preserve its country for posterity through the effective communication.
This is where thought and I hear echoes of the position, the leadership of the NIPR, not only to get communication, to re-strategize, but do so as stakeholders governance.
The need for leaders of NIPR to get communication re-strategized for good governance was the opinion of some stakeholders at the event.
We need to perpetually remain on our course, seek more knowledge in communication, and that is the essence of the Directors' Conference, together with the NIPR on a yearly basis.
Evolving world, where the attention span of human beings is shrinking, but the need for explicit communication is increasing, becomes a major challenge for both the practitioners and the end users of communication.
Changing the dynamics of governance through strategic communication was the theme for the conference. In Uyo, Charity James, NTA News.
Now, residents of Chifui community of Apo district of a Federal Capital Territory may soon find an end to seeking medical services outside their domain. This follows the conclusion of plans by Rotary Club Garki neighborhood to design and construct a modern healthcare center for the people. Haman Jabani reports.
The of healthcare service is one of the basic needs of man. During his 2020 Family Health Day, featuring drugs and blood tests and other healthcare services, 600 people were targeted in the medical outreach of the Rotary Club Garki neighborhood in a community which Sarah Galadi and Lazarus Karshi are beneficiaries.
And may God help them again. May them come next year again. We are very happy.
We need primary health care, and our road is very, very bad.
We assured them that they are going to continue to see us. In fact, before this year I want to end, why not? We can still come and organize other programs here.
Looking at the possibility of even getting them an health center around this area as a project from the club, and we are working towards that.
As part of its corporate social responsibility, the club awarded scholarship to 10 indigenous students of junior secondary school Garki, planted tree, provided sanitary materials, and furnished the school clinic with medical consumables and beddings.
Our club has adopted this school for about 6 years since our club was chartered, and but what makes today different is that we are having 4 projects today alone.
We believe we need to impart in our community, and our community, their need is what's important to us, not what we want to do for them.
They are wonderful people. They have done what we are less expected.
I'm really grateful for all Rotary Club has done for us in this school, starting from the scholarship that they gave to the 10 less privileged students to help them to go further in their education.
The assistance by the club is part of its yearly community service since its establishment in 2014. Hamman Jabani, NTA News.
We're talking politics. The Young Progressives Party says the desire of the people for a better Nigeria can only be achieved through a ballot revolution. At a special national convention held in Abuja, the party has formally ratified some amended sections of its constitution. Salihu Abdullahi Gwanara reports.
We pray that their soul continue to rest in the bosom of the Lord.
The event, which commenced with a minute silence in honor of those who lost their lives during the NSAS protest, metamorphosed into a celebration mood shortly after unveiling the party's new logo. In addition, the party has created more offices to accommodate people living with disabilities and formally ratified some of its executive committee. National chairman of the party, Bishop Amakri, says the time has come for the Nigerian youth to come together and replicate the patriotic and resilient spirit of the country's founding fathers, and that the platform to achieve that is the Young Progressives Party.
We have just ignited the real revolution
that we want to see in our country. And when I say revolution through the ballot. I believe in ballot revolution. We will continue to educate our people to go there, procure their voters card, so that they will effect that paradigm shift.
Once you believe in the new Nigeria, then YPP is the place to be. And that is why from henceforth, you are going to see a change in the political dynamics of YPP.
The special national convention attracted young Progressives Party faithful from across the country. In Abuja, Salihu Abdullahi Gwanara, NTA News.
This is the news on NTA International. Time for a break. More news up. Thanks a lot for staying tuned into the news on NTA International. A flagship health intervention program to help tackle the twin challenges of maternal infant mortality and malnutrition in Nigeria has come on stream. At the launch of a program, Lafia UK-Nigeria Partnership for a Healthier Future of the British High Commission in Abuja, both countries pledged to commit more resources towards strengthening the primary healthcare system in Nigeria. Kelvin Ehunwaye reports.
The Lafia Health Program. The British government plans to invest €235 million over the next 8 years in the 5 pilot states of Kaduna, Kano, Yobe, Jigawa and Borno states. The funds will primarily be channeled towards saving lives, reduce suffering, and improve effectiveness of public health care for the poorest and most vulnerable in the benefiting states. The federal government's basic health care provision fund structure will be the main interfacing organ with the Lafia program.
Particularly significant to note that this health program is set out to improve health outcomes for the poor and vulnerable through a more resilient public and private health system.
A growing population of over 200 million and a high fertility rate, Nigeria needs to harness a demographic dividend and drive its development.
For the benefiting states, malnutrition is a major challenge they want the Lafia program to strategically address with a design of local response mechanism with active involvement of states and local authorities. The target of the program is to reduce maternal infant mortality by 40% and improve infant and adolescent nutrition by 50% in the benefiting states in the next 8 years. In Abuja, Kelvin Ehunwaye, NTA News.
On the foreign scene, Australia's COVID-19 epicenter goes 29 days without new infections as capital of Ethiopia's northern Tigray region comes under heavy shelling from government forces. Here's Uche Ugochukwu with these and more happenings on the global scene.
UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson has appointed a health minister to oversee coronavirus vaccine deployment. He will become a joint minister between Departments of Health and Social Care, Business, Energy and Industrial Strategy for the period. Good news from Australia, where the state of Victoria, which was once the country's COVID-19 epicenter, has gone 29 days without new infections. The Department of Health announced that there are also no active cases of COVID-19 in the state. However, the global confirmed cases tally crosses 62.2 million as shown on Bodometer coronavirus dashboard as at 6 p.m. Nigerian time. 2,580 patients are critically ill from the more than 2.1 million positive cases reported in Africa. And Nigeria's infection figures now stand at 67,220 after detecting 246 new cases Friday. In other developments, aid workers and regional officials say the capital of Ethiopia's northern Tigray region has come under heavy shelling from government forces. The Ethiopian army has been in conflict with the Tigray People's Liberation Front for weeks, hoping to seize the city from the fighters within days. From Iran comes the report that President Hassan Rouhani has blamed Israel for the killing of a top nuclear scientist and said it would not slow down the country's nuclear program. And on U.S. election petition, a federal appeals court has rejected the Trump campaign's attempt to block President-elect Joe Biden from being declared winner in Pennsylvania. The panel of 3 judges deemed the case was without merit and that the Trump campaign had not made specific allegations or provided proof. Uche Ugochukwu, NTA News.
Back in Nigeria, Chief of Defense Staff General Abayomi Olonishakin has lauded efforts of the Nigerian armed forces towards improved national security across land and maritime domains. General Olonishakin, speaking at the Naval War College graduation ceremony in Calabar, says the engagement of the armed forces in various security operations across the country is no mean feat. Achibong Basi reports.
Level commanders with thorough appreciation of complex national security problems. The Naval War College Nigeria runs various courses. Principal among them is a Naval Warfare course.
It is therefore deserving that I commend your resilience, hard work and endurance of all participants of course 4 for having gone through the rigors of the course with faith and endurance.
Today's graduation ceremony marks the successful completion of another Naval Warfare course, which is the 4th since the establishment of the college in May 2017. The college has so far trained and graduated a total of 47 officers of the Armed Forces of Nigeria, with course 1 having a total of 15 officers, course 2, 14 officers, and course 3, 18 officers. Today's 21 graduates of the Naval Warfare Course 4 will join the list of other Naval Warfare Course graduates from these prestigious security studies citadel.
I make bold to state that these graduates, like their forebears, have been endued with the requisite capacity that will enable them to plan and conduct Nigeria's wars intellectually and courageously.
I would like to especially thank our brother, the Chief of the Naval Staff, Vice Admiral I.E. Ibas, for doing us the honor of establishing the Naval War College in Calabar.
Achievements and contributions of the college to the Nigerian Navy and the Defense Headquarters Joint Operations is made possible through the support of the Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Ibok Ete Ibas. In Calabar, Achibong Basi, NTA News.
On the fight against insecurity, the Air Task Force of Operation Lafia Dole has neutralized several Islamic State of West Africa province ISWAP elements and destroyed their hideouts at Nguri, Ghana, along the Gulumba-Ghana-Kumshe axis, as well as Tamboma Baba on the fringes of Lake Chad, both in the northern parts of Borno State. In a statement signed by the Coordinator of Defense Media Operations, Defense Headquarters, Major General John Enenche said these was achieved through air strikes executed as part of a new subsidiary operation tagged Wotaro Tapki 2 after a series of area surveillance missions had indicated that the 2 locations with structures and logistic items camouflaged under the dense vegetation were being used as staging areas where some ISWAP leaders and their fighters made to plan and launch attack. The coordinated attacks launched by the Air Task Force employing an enhanced force package of Nigerian Air Force fighter jets and helicopter gunships resulted in the destruction of some of the terrorist structures as well as the neutralization of several ISWAP fighters. Now, away from insecurity, Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari has pledged described the former military governor of Plateau State, Rear Admiral Samuel Bitrus ATUKUM, as one of the most dedicated military officers that served under him as head of state. In a statement, the president said that the former military governor belongs to a crop of officers whose zeal for duty and patriotism was impressive and worthy of emulation. while paying a glowing tribute to the retired military officer. President Muhammadu Buhari noted with delight that ATUKUM had put professionalism and patriotism above other interests in the service of his country. And Nigeria cannot forget his sacrifices in the defense of its territorial integrity. He prays God to bless the elder statesman with better health and long life. Now in sports, Nigeria's representatives in the CAF Confederations Cup, Rivers United, have lost their match against Futuro Kings of Equatorial Guinea, won to end the preliminary round match of the championship. For more updates, let's join Olumide Eguntola.
Our two-time African champions, Enyimba of Aba, will on Sunday attempt to move a step closer to the group stage of the CAF Champions League when the team play away to Raimo FC of Burkina Faso. The second leg is scheduled for Aba Township Stadium on the weekend of December 4th to 6th. Similarly, Nigeria's second representative in the Champions League, Plateau United, will on Sunday host Simba FC of Tanzania. The second leg is scheduled for Tanzania. Moving on to volleyball, Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps and Nigeria Customs Service have emerged champions of the Nigeria Volleyball Federation Cup Tag Top 8 held at the Indoor Sports Hall of the University of Ilorin. In the female final, the winners of the 2019 National Premier League, Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, beat Nigeria Customs 3-1 at 25-18, 25-25, 25-19, and 25-22, while the more experienced, star-studded, and winners of the 2019 National Premier League, Nigeria Customs Service team, overran the youthful and mighty Kano Pillars team 3-0 at 25-21, 25-16, and 25-20 to emerge the best male volleyball team in Nigeria.
It took hard work, determination, and commitment to get to where we are today. We moved one step ahead from third to second. At least this is our first final. So it's a very good build-up.
But I want a sponsor where he will say, oh, in the next 3 years or 4 years, I'm going to sponsor this competition.
In cricket, as part of doubling a development program, the Nigerian Cricket Federation has concluded arrangements to unveil one of the game's most respected development coach, Ashanka Guruzina, from Sri Lanka, as the national team coach. The event is slated for Abuja in December. From the English Premier League, action continues on Sunday as Chelsea takes on Tottenham Hotspur, while Manchester United lock arms with Southampton. With sports updates, Olumide Eguntola, NTA News.
And that's the news on NTA International. Thanks a lot for your time. Remember to take up this opportunity and connect with NTA. We stand against rape and rapists.